Hello walkers, and welcome to City Walks, where we explore and discover new places as we walk around the city, and I sort of just get distracted by all sorts of various things like these awesome old buildings here. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide, as we walk around and explore the surprisingly large city of Omaha, Nebraska. I don't really know where to start because I don't know a lot about Omaha. Certainly a lot of things going back, like Mutual of Omaha. But I'm surprised and struck by the sheer size of it. It's really a big city. If you like these videos, please subscribe. We try to release 2 a week, and give us a like, but mainly give us a comment. I love interacting with viewers and hearing your views and your thoughts, corrections, additional information, I guess I could call that additions, and that sort of thing, especially on a place like today where I really don't know much about it. We're on a road trip back east, and we're stopping at all these cities, and it's impossible for me to really do comprehensive research on all of them, so I'm just doing the best I can. Today is a Monday. It's about 11:15 and 51 degrees Fahrenheit, 11 degrees Celsius, the end of November, and just a beautiful day. Old Market Spaghetti Works. I love these old buildings. I'm sure that this is there's a name for this area, but there's a homeless person talking to themselves or somebody else, and so we're just gonna wander around. I love these old verandas here. It's like, I think it was named the 5th coldest city in America. I assume that's the continental or the contiguous 48. We're gonna wander about here. This must be old markets or something. I love it. I haven't really seen this in other places, so it's kind of cool. Also liked this old ironworks here. If you're new here, this is kind of what I do. I kind of explore, discover, and ramble. I mentioned that. I'm easily distracted by things, so I'll stop mid-sentence and change tack, and hopefully I'll come back. These are super cool. I love these things. And this is kind of why I like doing this channel too. There's a lot of reasons, but this discovering these cool parts of cities that I wouldn't have known or found or even looked for if I wasn't out doing these walks. So I hope you enjoy the ride as somebody working on this building, as we just explore and discover. So, in fact, I'm probably going to go back this way. This is obviously an older part of the city, and either in this walk or another walk, I haven't decided if I'm going to do 2 yet. We'll get over into a newer section, and then there's sort of a look at all these galleries here. Then there, across 480 or 488, there's like the Mutual Omaha building, and that sort of thing. Sort of a not modern but newer, sort of maybe an in-between time. I love it. It's got kind of a dank smell to it too. Sort of urban sewer. So I didn't tell you where we are. We are on 11th and Howard right now. I think we started up at 10th and Howard. I installed my, I love this. I gotta take some pictures, sorry. Such a cool surprise to find this stuff. That building down there. Awesome. And I love all this brickwork. So this is all sort of cobblestone brickwork streets, and it kind of just reminds me of so many places. Like in Europe almost, like maybe London or something. And those old British cities. Yeah, very cool. Barbershops, pubs, restaurants. I bet it's super fun to be down here on a Friday and Saturday night. They're growing something here, maybe hops or surprised the leaves are still on them. I don't know. Surely that's hops. But I don't really know. It doesn't matter. All right. And I'm just going to wander down here along Howard and explore and see what we can find. Somewhere down here there's a Durham Museum, which I've been told is really cool. Let me blow you away with my limited knowledge of Omaha, Nebraska. It's founded in about 1854, I think. And obviously, one of their things, their nicknames they've given themselves is Gateway to the West. Obviously, not unique there. The Big O, which, let's walk down here to this park. This is Jackson and 11th. We're going to go down Jackson. Lewis and Clark came through here on their way west. I think it was on their way west. And it's a population of 486,000 people, which I wouldn't have thought would seem so much bigger than places like Sioux City and Sioux Falls, who also have, I think Sioux City has 86. I think Sioux Falls has more. I can't quite remember. But this seems exponentially bigger for whatever reason. Oh, this is a cool place. I'm gonna pull out and such a beautiful day too. Oh my gosh. I guess this is the Embassy Suites Hilton that we're coming up here. I don't really care about that right now, although well placed for a hotel right on the edge of this hip cool area. This is 10th Street, so I must have been on 12th and Dodge earlier. Let me see if I can find, cancel that, Durham Museum. Durham Museum's that way. So let's cross, and I'll try to get us away from the sun. It's all right. It said 32 seconds to cross, and then it just turned red. I'll have to review the footage. We'll go back up here. And I'd hate to be a statistic of one of those people that is looking at their phone, even though I'm not looking at my phone. Well, I guess I was. Anyway, forgive and forget. Okay, so industries are finance and was meat processing. Used to have a big stockyards here. I'm not sure if it still does. Transportation. What the major employers or major Fortune 500 companies include Mutual of Omaha and what is Warren Buffett's company? Berkshire Hathaway is here. Warren Buffett, of course, is famous for investing. I think his strategy is called value-added investing. Let's go down 11th again. Having a problem. There we go. Getting this point where I want it to point. And he's worth, billions, and it still stays fairly humble. It's a pretty cool building too. Bemis building. We're getting down into some apartments. Looks like the Thunderhead Brewing. Hold on. I'm gonna go down here. Interesting. That would be a cool place to live, I would think. One, you're above a brewery. Two, you're in this area and you've got this old sort of factory warehouse vibe going on. Somewhere down here is the Durham Museum. All right, so the river, the Missouri River, is off to our left. I could come down here and drink a beer or two. Sure. Somewhere up here on the right is supposedly the Durham Museum, so we'll go check that out, and then we'll venture back into the more interesting stuff. I just want to spin you around like a record baby. That cool building. I tend to gravitate towards these sort of 19th century buildings, early 20th. But there's a lot of new stuff too as we go north. We're headed south now. There it is. Is that Bull Durham? Okay. Shouldn't have crossed the street. Sorry, I know I'm a little more distracted than normal. This is an old Art Deco train station. Must be further down. Featuring displays on Omaha history as well as other traveling displays. Hi there. Okay. It's up there. I'm not going to go up there because it's a ways to go. And we saw it from the road. I thought it was apartment complexes, but apparently it's a museum. Maybe they're joined at the hip or something. I'm sort of overwhelmed by how cool this place is, how big it is. It's when driving in, there's all sorts of construction going on, road construction, but also, building construction and that sort of thing, which is really interesting to me. It shows that the economic vibrancy is happening here. I know this is a city, not a small town, but a lot of small towns in what they refer to as the heartland are fading. They're losing population, they're losing economic vitality, globalization and centralization of industries is affecting them greatly. And, there's an ebb and flow to these things, I guess. And they may not be the ideal solution to compete in the modern world, small towns. But it doesn't mean we can't be nostalgic. Venice Center. It's like an art kind of thing. We're going to head back north and get back into these older buildings on 12th. We were on Leavenworth, but we're going to go north on 12th a little bit. And then I guess we'll go maybe back west a little bit and get into we'll just see what we're going to do. I don't know. Well, I might see something that is super cool, or moderately cool that I just wanted to go check out. Beautiful day today. Just glorious. there's something about the pace of walking as well that enables a more keen observation and allows us to notice more things. Certainly that's true in a natural landscape. I've done a lot of work for American Prairie Reserve, and I've spoken about this before, but the sagebrush steppe up there gives the impression, or can give the impression, of being devoid of life, of being very bland. But once you dig into it, you see all this diversity of life and plant and insects and reptiles and small mammals and all that sort of thing. This is a really cool situation over here. Cool building. There we go. And we've got a modern building up here. I want to cross, but I might have to go up here to cross. Love that kind of old area, brickwork. It's getting warm in the sun. We're on 13th. We were on Jones, sorry. Headed up towards Jackson. This is a little less interesting to me. Hopefully we'll get back into some of that cool old stuff. Driving in was pretty amazing. Driving through all these massive buildings and really cool high school and museum. Hopefully we'll make it over there. You can see that local price of gas is $3.20. There's the Hyatt place over here. Western view of Jackson is. I think I'll head back this way. I like this old section. I want to make sure we explore it fairly well and see what it has to offer. Oh, Hollywood candy. Apparently that's pretty fun. The barista at the coffee shop was saying that it's a pretty fun place to go hang out. Not hang out, but walk through, see what they have on offer. But I see a giant chicken. Some old brick stuff up here. I started to talk about how much I like the old and how much I gravitate to these older buildings. But one of the things I'm kind of looking forward to today is getting over into the modern stuff too. Oh yeah, look at this place. I don't know if I can do it justice if you'll be able to see it, but it's a whole massive building there. We're gonna keep going this way. Jeez. Just going to give us a peek over here, and then we're going to head back north. We're not quite as far north as I thought we would. This is kind of a neat little ice cream parlor. And we might have Ted and Wally's, I think. An old gas station. That's a great idea. they've utilized a lot of these old buildings instead of just tearing them down, which is great. And in a few places, it looks like they may have rebuilt, but they've rebuilt in a way that is a little bit of a modern twist on the old vision. You got metal work and brick over there, which is pretty interesting. Oh yeah, here we are. We're back at Dodge and 12th where we started, but we're going to keep going, don't worry. We're going to dogleg left. A cool little area. Reminds me a little bit of downtown Seattle, but I haven't really spent a whole lot of time, so if you disagree with me on that, be gentle. Happy to hear the opposing viewpoints. Plank Seafood and Provisions here. I have to give kudos to communities that maintain these older buildings. It would be easy, and certainly in other places, they've been left to rot and crumble. But they give so much character, to me anyway, and distinctiveness to a place. It makes it, much like having trees, make it more organic almost. The Monster Club Pub and Grub. The old market. She was mentioning that as well. A place for maybe for artwork or something. No, I thought she called it the Hops. We'll see if we can find that. You can see where you're getting some modern buildings. That's a bank building, the top one over there. Cross over here. And they do apparently a race, a stair climb race every year, which sounds excruciating. I love this old building as I try and get away from that copyrighted music. Very cool. Try not to get run over. More music, which doesn't surprise me in front of a e-cigs and vaporizer store, which is fine. I think YouTube has gotten a lot better about recognizing the difference between copyrighted music that you're trying to use and copyrighted music that's being blasted out into the public space and you're not trying to use, but is rather getting imposed on you. Like these old advertisements on the side of buildings, getting that reflection. Awesome. Now, I think I'm going to keep going north, but this is, what street this is, but I'm going to cross it. This is still Dodge. 13th Street and Harney. We'll make our way up there eventually, either on this walk or another, but I think I want to keep going north a ways. Pretty cool. They've got these bike lanes here, separated off from the traffic, which is great if you're on a bike or an e-bike or one of the many scooters that are around. Kind of modern building up there. And then you can look back and see some of the older building still. This is 1200 Landmark Center. building on our left here is the Nebraska State Office Building. I'm always a little worried when a car rushes up and stops suddenly. There's a massive building up ahead that looks quite like a museum. Let's see if I can find where we are. Oh, look at this park. It's all under construction. Well, the Omaha World Herald is off to the left. Oh my gosh, look at this, guys. Wow. But we, my friends, this is Farnham that we're crossing. Trying not to get hit. And I don't know what park this is, but it looks like it's going to be magnificent. The stage at one end. And I want to find out what this building up here is. It says Holland, which I assume is a name. We've got some construction going on here. Oh, we'll get up there, don't worry. I think what I'm going to do is come up here to Douglas, make a right, see if I can find out what this modern building is up here, which I kind of like. It's got this wall of windows facing south. Which I and then just the shape of it makes me think it's built that way in order to get collect solar heat. Oh, it's a good lord, sir. Performing Arts Center, Holland Performing Arts Center, 13th and Douglas. I'm going to let you look up Douglas to the west. You can see just the weight of these cities. I've talked about the weight or mass of cities. It's sort of this, I don't know, this feeling you get from, like, I really first noticed it in St. Petersburg. It just had this massive feel to it, even though it wasn't tall. It was like stone and just thick. It's really an amazing place. We got to spend a couple days there. Fortunately, I deleted one of the walks that I did there, but I got to film a couple others, so check those out if you haven't. Really impressed with that park. It's going to be awesome. I'm also impressed with this Performing Arts Center. Also looks awesome. It's going to have a great view of that park too. Oh, I saw a building back there, and it reminded me that another one of the Fortune 500 companies here in Omaha is the Union Pacific Railroad Company. It's Union Pacific. I don't know if it's called Railroad Company or whatever, but I can't imagine they just do railroads. But it could be wrong. Another thing I didn't mention is, yes, the population here is 400 and, I forget what I said, 90-something thousand. Across the river is Council Bluffs, Iowa. And together the metro area consists of, I think, either just under or just over 1 million people. So it is a major population center for the Midwest, and certainly for the prairie states. Some neat old buildings up here on the left. See what they're all about. I've shifted away from, for the day at least, the 60 frames a second. Look at this kind of ornate front. Love that. To 24, it's a more cinematic look. It's a museum of shadows, haunted artifacts, and oddities. I just kind of want to see the difference. I'm sort of experimenting. So let me know what you think, what your preference is. So let me see. Rapid City. No, I'm sorry. Rapid City, Sioux Falls, and another one or two are at 60 frames a second. And today's walks are at 24. This is 11th Street. And we're gonna keep on exploring down here, headed towards 10th. Oh. So earlier when we first started, I talked about it being very market-like. Must have been an old market. And there we go. Sign pointing over there saying Old Market. This is Pinnacle Bank here. Another pretty cool building. I can go out into the street without getting hit. I just love seeing the uniqueness of all these buildings compared to, these big glass and steel structures, which can be beautiful in their own way. But as I heard a long time ago on some NPR show, here's a Courtyard Marriott, another great place to be staying, great location anyway. That modern buildings, or at least for a long time, were designed to look good from the highway as people drove past or through the city, whereas older buildings were meant to have that street level beauty. Turning around here too, just the painted brickwork there is kind of cool, the old advertisements and stuff. And as we as we move away from internal combustion engines, which I'm going to get back to the miracle of that in a minute, as we become more, hopefully, more pedestrian centric, more bicycle centric, I hope we will, not we, but designers will start to design again for that street level, slower paced experience, for appreciating the beauty of that. The internal combustion engine and the miracle thereof. This is how you come off of the interstate. We're driving. What is this, Dodge Street? Another Dodge. We are driving. We've gone over 1,100 miles so far in the last few days, and often at 80 plus miles an hour for 8 hours at a time. In the past, we've done way more than that. Excuse me. At something like 2,000 to 4,000 RPMs, depending on how hard the engine's working. Excuse me. And it just keeps going for hundreds of thousands of miles. We've got 85,000 miles on our car. The miracle of that, the ability to design it, to manufacture it, to design the materials, is just amazes me. Anyway, just thought I'd say that. I mean, that's not even talking about the carbon footprint and all that stuff, but just the amazing abilities of the human mind. So up ahead is the CHI Health Center Omaha, which I thought was a sports complex. Then when I saw the name, I thought it was a hospital, which is a strange design. Excuse me, I'm having a little frog in my throat. And now it looks like I saw a sign that says arena. So maybe I was right to begin with. We're gonna go up Capitol Avenue. You can see, we saw the couple buildings, we saw that park, we see a building going up here. Just a lot going on here in Omaha. It's impressive. Looks like they've got a bike sharing program. Oh. Sidewalk is closed. Didn't predict that well. This just goes on and on and on and on. I love it. Oh, I'm going to go left up here. I was hoping I could stay in the shadows, but back to Dodge. Looks like it's going to be a performing arts complex. That's cool. Huh. I didn't even notice that stone arch down there. They're working on the park. All right, we're going to make a right on Dodge for the sole reason. I'm not sure I can make a right on that. Then I drove in there and I saw some cool stuff, so. Gonna make do as we can. All right. Now, obviously the city expands out from here and goes further north. I'm going to stay in the sort of center of mass of the city, for lack of a better term. Speaking of the decline of or the ascendancy of an electric vehicle, which I hope we are seeing. Pardon me, gosh. It's going to take me forever to try and edit that out if I have the time. The amazing amount of the use of electric engines is exploding. So just for instance, they're doing all that lawn maintenance and all of those engines are great opportunities for electrification. In fact, California has recently started or enacted a future ban or phase out of those types of gas-powered engines, which are typically two-stroke. They're loud. They have a lot of particulate pollution, and they're not efficient. So, not great for the people who use them, that's for sure. Who are typically lower-income folks, and you see that there's so many more opportunities or more products available that can do that job efficiently. Now, obviously, transitioning your company from the tens of thousands of dollars or more that you've invested in your older stuff, your internal combustion engines, to a green battery-powered system is not free. But as we make that transition, it just makes so much more sense. It's going to make the world quieter. It's going to make the world cleaner, at least the air. It's always important to remember that this is the Herald again, Omaha World Herald. It's always important to remember that all those electric vehicles still have to be manufactured, still have costs, environmental and economic. Anyway, I get in trouble sometimes, not in trouble, but I get called out every once in a while for people don't like me putting my politics, just the Union Pacific building, in these videos, and I don't really feel like that's politics. That's more technology, but it's been made a partisan issue over the years. But I think it's exciting, honestly. Coming up on 14th and Dodge. Oh, that's a cool park over there. Yes, please. It's like a crossover here. It's kind of interesting. It's like a park, but it's also like a vacant lot, which is nice. They've planted grass, but I have to wonder. I wonder what's going to happen to it, if it'll become developed into another park or if it will be built upon. Kind of real estate is probably super valuable. It's kind of an interesting building over here. Maybe another performing arts complex. Gosh, there's a lot going on here in Omaha. Got a little bit more coming up. It's like Pioneers. I saw a sign for the Mormon Trail, something or other. I don't think it was necessarily this, but maybe it was a historical marker or something. So I'm curious to see if this is a general historical thing or if it's Mormon specific. Wow, it's big. All right, so it seems to start over here. We've got covered wagons. We've got people on horseback, people with muskets and dogs. We'll just walk along here. This is Pioneer Coup Age, First National Park 2003. Well, it's not the First National Park. Maybe it's the First National Bank Park. This is really fun, man. Look how detailed all this is. Slightly larger than life scale. I'm 6.5 feet tall. That guy's about 7. Everybody's pretty happy. Mostly. Those guys are trying to get unstuck down there. And it's smoke-free. Oh wow, and it just keeps going and going. I love this. So now we've got native peoples. Didn't really talk about how the Omaha got its name. It's, I believe, named for the people, the Omaha people who were here. I don't know anything about them, so I'm not going to speak to it, but I did read that the term Omaha refers to the people of the bluff, or that's the meaning. There's bison all along this parking garage. There's a Residence Inn above the United States building. If you're looking for a hotel, that's odd. Not odd, just unexpected. There is a very thick smell of marijuana smoke. Anyway, I'm not sure where that's coming from. Oh yeah, here we got the other park that I only saw this park that we're going to see here in a minute. I didn't see the whole other half of it. I could definitely see coming and hanging out in Omaha, man. This place is awesome. Look at this. This is even cooler. So we've got this bison calf, and then this other bison that's sort of built into the corner of the building. Awesome. All right, so we are, what is this, 16th? 15th, 14th? No, it's like Douglas, or it's Dodge, that's what it is. Yeah. Hurting you? All right. Yeah, Dodge Street. Gosh. Okay. So, and then we've got this whole other scene over here in this park that is going on. More bison, geese, Spirit of Nebraska wilderness. This is, I think, the First National. So that's what it is. That's the name of the company. So that's the First National Park. Maybe they should hyphenate that. Double tree in over there. I am just loving Omaha. I'm not even sponsored or anything. I know. Look at these geese, and then you got more geese over there. This is such a cool thing. I hope I remember to include this in the description of the video. There's geese on the corner of that building, sort of built into the corner. There's geese over there. And I don't know where it even stops. Hopefully it doesn't. No, wait, this is 16th and Dodge. There's some more geese. I'll wait till I get in the shadow to look up. This is by far the dominant building of the skyline. Awesome. So my plan is to continue up Dodge here a ways and then probably take a break and do a second walk in a little while. But at first, bear with me because there's one more thing I want to show you guys up here. Well, one or two. We'll have to see how the timing plays out. some parking garages. This is the FNBO, First National Bank of Omaha, maybe? I'm gonna guess that is the case. I think there's a tendency of people on the coast, I don't want to say elites, but to discount these Midwestern prairie states and their cities. But man, they got it going on, you know. Obviously, if you're from New York, New York's amazing. For historically and artistically, financially, etc. And certainly California cities and Seattle, etc. You've got the old cities down south. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going here. But I have been really impressed with Rapid City. Was really interesting. Sioux Falls, it's beautiful. I walked in downtown Sioux City this morning, and man, the buildings down there are just incredible. They're so beautiful. And you know, a city, let me do the quick math on that, 1/6 the size, I think, 1/5 of this, but still so much going on downtown. Hotel Indigo looks either like a new build or a redo, but it looks new. Maybe they've just rehabbed it. Look at that tower. That thing looks futuristic. Retro-futuristic, maybe. Let me see if I can cross over here. I want to go up to the top of this hill. That old church right next to the parking garage there with the modern glass additions. I like that. I'll take a look. Sorry. Like an old Episcopal church with a modern flair. Pretty cool. This hotel is not even open yet. Looks like. What's that section? Oh, this section's open. Maybe they're... No, maybe not. Again, more building, more construction, more renovating. A lot going on here. All right. Got this funky bike union and coffee. That's awesome. I wonder what that's all story is. Sweet little building there. Sorry, look at this thing. Looks like maybe it is a fundraising arm or tool for something. All right, so this magnificent palace up here, I'm going to tell you about it in a little second here. And of course, I didn't read the street sign there. Must have been 19th in Dodge, coming up on 20th. This building over here, I don't want to give the name away too early, looks to me like a palace or a museum or a government building of some sort. And I guess it is, but it's a high school. Omaha Central High School. which I'll have to say it looks almost like a European military academy or something. It's kind of neat. And then there's one building beyond that I also want to take a look at before we stop, but I gotta wait for the light. So we're looking down 20th now, towards the south. And we get to cross. What looks like an apartment building over there. But look at that thing. I would never have guessed that was a high school. Maybe a post office or a DMV. Oh, here we go. Capitol Hill. Maybe it used to be a Capitol building. Second Territorial Capital, 1857, 1858. Removed by Lincoln in 1868. Oh, removed to Lincoln, Nebraska, of course. The math didn't add up there for a second, because I'm pretty sure Lincoln didn't do anything in 1868. As he was no longer with us. But I want to show you this pink building up there that is still under construction or being renovated or something. Kiewit seems to be a massive construction company. I've seen a lot of their signs around down here. Anyway, it's the Joslyn Art Museum. But look at that, it is awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. Hopefully they don't just put a parking lot in here. And maybe a little park instead. Isn't that beautiful? You guys, fantastic. I'm loving Omaha. Who knew? I guess people from Nebraska knew. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm going to do another walk here in a few minutes. For you guys, it'll be a few days. Stick around for that one. We're going to go back downtown and make our way back to the market. Until we see you again, keep on stepping.